Yes, guys, welcome. And I want to talk about our man or Jack's guy, Erling Haaland. Now before you guys call me a hater, I predicted the day he signed he was going to break the record, yeah, for the most goals scored in a single season in his debut season. So I had high hopes for him, and I was the guy saying, guys, like, listen, the guy is a goal scorer.
Well, and
My
James, and I was the guy who thought he'd get 20. So as much as people might think, oh, Jack's his biggest fan and James is a hater, it's like not really. Like I was the guy who thought he'd do worse than James did. So
but this is where you guys are probably gonna hate this right now. In my opinion, Jack, can you consider Erling Haaland the best player in the world based on his style of play, Jack? Because I think it's awful, Jack. It is awful. And
but yeah, go ahead.
and to
Keep digging.
you, this is just where I'm gonna go to it.
Yeah,
Numbers talk.
sure.
53 goals last season in like 51 games or something like that. Ridiculous sort of numbers. But I'm talking about impact on the game. If you're not scoring, how can you impact the game? And only like one or two games I watched last year where I felt like, without really scoring, he had a big impact on the game, Jack. The majority of the time when I see him, if he's not contributing goals to Manchester City, which is goals are a big part of the game, Jack, he does nothing. And
Right.
his overall play is horrific, Jack. Everything you want from you talking about his ability to you talking about how quick and strong he is. By running in behind, the game against Arsenal the other day, a ball was played into a channel, and Jack, he had the opportunity to stand William Saliba up and have a go at him. And if you're a top guy, and I'm talking about the top, because Jack, he's considered one of the greatest strikers of all time.
Yeah,
If
for sure.
you're
Has
that
to be.
guy, when you're in a certain situation, I expect you to create something out of nothing. Jack, there was a fast break, ball down the line, and I was expecting him, take him on, turns around, goes back, takes about 7 touches in Arsenal and lets everybody get back into play. And then we got to talk about, how much is he linking play? How much is he bringing other people into play? How can he create for himself? If Man City aren't creating for him, he's doing absolutely none. And I look at artists, and I say this because they're not just strikers to me, they're artists. Benzema, he take the goals out of it. I was just watching a little combination just of him just playing. He
Yeah,
can play. He's an
right.
artist. When I consider the best player in the world, I expect you to take you anywhere and you can make people go, wow. Even Lewandowski, who I get it when people say he should have won the Ballon d'Or in 2020. He can do things you're like, wow. I
Yeah.
look at Erling Haaland in bar the goals, Jack. Generally, I don't think he offers nothing. And I don't think he troubles defenders.
It,
I feel like he's very easy to play against. And that's where, like, I can't consider you the best. If you're easy to play against, I can sit there and watch you and be like,
but
that's
but
easy
it's
to defend
but
against.
it's the classic though. Is he easy to play against when he breaks the Premier League top scorer record? Because listen, in a 1-to-1, right, back against goal or winning a duel or whatever, you can go, oh, you're easy to play against, you're predictable. But if the guy scores a brace, are you is he easy to play against? Because he's just scored 2 goals against you. Now, here's what I would say. This version of Erling Haaland is probably the worst. And you and I talked about this last season. As much as everybody who only watches football with notifications on their phone, they go, "Oh, it's the best player in the world. It's better than Messi and Ronaldo." It's a goal a game. It's a goal a game. It's the Premier League. He's insane. It's ridiculous. Like James, Erling Haaland does not fit the style of football that Man City play and want to do. He's making the best of the situation he finds himself in and the instructions he's being given. Erling Haaland is somebody who benefits from direct attacks, right? I believe FB Reference do this statistical category where it talks about the speed at which it comes from the back to forward in an attacking sense. The top team in the world at doing this is Real Madrid, right? That's the best team in the world at doing it. Erling Haaland suits a team like that. When he was at some of these other teams and he had a bit more space to run into and be dynamic and be dangerous, that's his bag. This kind of high territory, high possession, not much space game does not suit him at all. He's not cute enough, technically gifted enough. He's not an artist in that sense. He's a physical freak show and he's a bit of a killer when it comes to it, which is why he scores the number of goals he scores. But James, you and I see the goals. There's the odd one where you go, damn, that was nice. But apart from that, a lot of tap-ins, lots of easy goals, which again you do look at and you go, I'm not gonna lie to you, I think I could do that. I think the fat guy with his arms folded at the pub who says, "Oh, I could score that," he might be right. And that is what we're dealing with Erling Haaland. That's why you and I agreed on this, I think. Borussia Dortmund, Erling Haaland was way more dangerous of a player and more impressive as a player than Man City one. But the goals will tell a different story. And
Jack,
that's the main argument that people are always going to look at.
this is just my opinion. I believe Erling Haaland benefits from playing in Manchester City because if he was playing any other side like Real Madrid, who expects just more than goals, Jack. There's no Real Madrid striker in history who just deliver goals. They expect, first of all, they want to be entertained, especially in Spain. Players are known for teams like that. They're known for fans coming in to be entertained. If you're not entertaining them, Jack, you'll get booze. Ronaldo scored so many goals for Real Madrid, but there was time when if he wasn't pulling away from the point of view of like certain moves wasn't coming off or a dribble wasn't coming off, you would hear the booze. Here's a guy, Jack, Jack, you mentioned he isn't technically good. He's not that great dribbling. I don't think he brings people into play. He's back towards goal. Man City, for him, it's very easy to play against. Why? Because he's one job. When you're playing at Real Madrid, we're given multiple jobs. Karim Benzema did so much for Real Madrid because not only did he score goals, Jack, his link-up playing, his ability to hold in and bring Vinicius or around them and Rodrigo around them was so important. He almost played as a 9 and a 10 where he could drop in and do all that stuff there. You say he joins Real Madrid. I think he joins Real Madrid and he suffers, Jack, because
dude, I think the complete opposite. I love how we disagree on this, James. I think if Erling Haaland is at Real Madrid, at Liverpool, at Manchester United, any of these kind of faster breaking teams, this guy is the best player in the world, like hands down.
okay, but Jack, for instance, right now, he joins Liverpool, and Liverpool, especially with a player like Mo Salah, Mo Salah benefited from a player dropping in for him to run into space. Erling Haaland plays off the final line, Jack. Yeah, he doesn't do all that stuff where he can link play and all that. He won't benefit a player like Diego Jota. He won't benefit a player like Mo Salah. Mo
So
Salah will have
maybe
to benefit them.
maybe Liverpool's not the best example, but Jude Bellingham, Tony Kroos, Luka Modric, Xiaomani, Camavinga, finding Erling Haaland with space to run into, Bruno Fernandes and his chance creation, spraying balls forward nice and
But
fast and going at him. James, he's the Borussia Dortmund level version of Erling Haaland, which we saw. It's that on steroids at one of these teams. That's why, James, Real Madrid is the perfect marriage for him. It's the perfect marriage for him. That's what we
Jack,
want to see. The Man City marriage is fine and it's kind of a marriage of convenience, but for what he's being asked to do, he's doing it very, very well, by the way. But it's not getting the best out of him, which is an insane thing to say because of the goal output. But it's true. We see it every day. It's the eye test.
Jack, I completely disagree because I look at players like Vinicius, and let's just say they sign a player like Mbappe. Mbappe and Vinicius, they love bounce players, the player that they can play off. Erling Haaland, I don't think you can play off him as well as you can play off a player like Benzema, as well as you can play off a player like Oliver Giroud. And listen, I'm not taking away from his goals, but I just think his overall play, Jack. And you mentioned the goals he scored, Jack. Let's talk about some of the big games last season. Yeah, let's bring it up. The semi-final against Manchester City, especially the first leg. Antonio Rudiger, which he does that to a lot of the defenders, he took him completely out of the game. Manchester City in the final, he didn't play. The whole Manchester City didn't play well, but Jack, he was particularly awful. He made 3 passes the whole game, Jack. The whole game, and it was so sloppy. The cup final against United, didn't see much of him there. There's a lot of games where, Jack, if he's not contributing goals, Jack, you're not seeing the output. A lot of tough away games last season, Jack. He didn't score. He didn't score at Tottenham. He didn't score at Anfield. He didn't score at Old Trafford. He didn't score. He did score against Arsenal, but that was like 80 odd minute after being 2-1 up. But a goal's a goal.
Here we sit. They've won the treble, and he was the starting number 9 for a treble-winning football team. He scored all these goals, and James, you can't tell me that in these big games that you're talking about, there wasn't tactical changes and little things to go, man, we got to try and stop this guy. We got to man mark this guy. We got to double up this guy, which allows you give Pep Guardiola more space in other areas of the pitch. He's just going to absolutely kill you. You and I both know this. The moment one guy can take multiple people away from a defensive setup, there's so much more space for everyone else. We see it all the time. It happened with Salah, had a few crazy breakout years, and then people started going, damn, what are we going to do about this guy, right? Messi. How many times have we seen three people try and decapitate Messi, right, from when he's playing? Cristiano, it's the same kind of level of respect.
No.
The fit's not good, but regardless of the fit not being good, he's doing as well as it could possibly be expected from him doing it. And James, I still think Borussia Dortmund Erling Haaland is in there, and I think that if he moves to a different team, we'll be able to see that. But you know what's crazy, James? If he plays better, he might score half the goals.
Yeah,
But you and I,
true. 100%, 100%, Jack.
you and
I
might
do
go.
not doubt that.
You and I might sit here and go, man, he's playing better. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
Well, guys, let me know what you think. Am I booking? Am I hating on Erling Haaland? Let me know. Is he the best player in the world? Comments down below. Please like, share, and subscribe, guys, and we'll see you next time.